In case it wasn't already abundantly clear, I do go to Stanford University where I've been studying for the past couple of years, but in order to get here in the first place, I had to be accepted into the university, and in order to do that, I had to fill out an application, a big part of which involved writing supplemental essays. And some of you guys watching this may be applying to Stanford this year and are currently trying to write your essays, and you might be stuck or lost or confused or any combination of the three, and that's totally fine because this is probably your first time ever writing supplemental essays for Stanford. But no need to worry because I am here as your guiding light. In order to get the creative juices flowing and hopefully spark some inspiration in you guys, I'm going to be sharing the essays that I wrote for my Stanford application, which you guys can hopefully use as reference for writing your own essays. Just note that my essays aren't going to be the be-all, end-all, and it's not like they're the one perfect example of what your essay should look like, because there are thousands and thousands of other students who are also accepted to Stanford, and I'm sure their essays were completely different from mine. But I still think it'll be helpful to have at least one example of what successful essays could look like, so that's what we're going to do today. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm going to go through each one of my essays. I'll read the prompt and then the essay. Some of the prompts that I wrote for on my application aren't used anymore, but I think it would still be fun to read them, so I'm going to read them anyways. All right, let's get started. Briefly elaborate on one of your extracurricular activities or work or family responsibilities. 150 words. To win a spot on WGBH's high school quiz show, our quiz team faced off against team after team, making our way to the semifinals. Then, disaster struck. The match felt off. Every time we pressed the buzzer, nothing happened. The other team gained a hefty lead. Then I saw it. Our buzzer's cables were disconnected. We explained the discovery to the show host, Jeff Kinney, my favorite childhood author and now mortal enemy, but he insisted we continue after a half-hearted attempt to fix the cables. Unsurprisingly, we lost. It should have ended at that, but our coach wouldn't accept it. Seeing her stand her ground against the big shot producer lit our fighting spirits. We protested and wouldn't let up until they let us redo the match, with new buzzers. We won the rematch, then the finals. Now moving on, will our struggles pay off? Tune into High School Quiz Show to find out. What is the most significant challenge that society faces today? 50 words. Disunity among countries prevents progress on international problems. To solve issues like climate change, we must cooperate. Unfortunately, us versus them tribalist ideology persists. Countries only attend to their own economic needs and interests first. Promoting intercultural exchange will help countries understand and work with one another to help the world prosper. How did you spend your last 2 summers? 50 words. Studied Korean in Jeonju through Nisley Y, went to my first concert, visited Lotte World, frequented the Noraebang, PCbang, and Disco Pang Pang, started a YouTube channel, volunteered at 2 hospitals, took dual enrollment classes, worked at a pizzeria, learned to drive, attended church, visited art museums, made new friends, survived, thrived. What historical moment or event do you wish you could have witnessed? 50 words. I wish I could have seen national hero Jose Rizal write Noli Me Tangere, watching as the passion in his pen gave birth to a nation. His novel defined what it means to be Filipino. Devoted, grateful, resilient. His words united Filipinos in the fight for independence under a common flag. What 5 words best describe you? 5 words. Industrious, resourceful, intentional, sarcastic, sleep-deprived. When the choice is yours, what do you read, listen to, or watch? 50 words. Read Webtoon, sometimes in Korean, Shonen Jump, National Geographic, Next Shark, The New York Times. Listen, Hyuko, Kim Soo-young, Blackpink, Radwimps, Almost, Hardcore History, Philosophize This, Stuff You Missed in History Class. Watch Crash Course, TED Ed, Black Mirror, Gukje Shijang, A Silent Voice, A Place Further Than the Universe, The Boston Celtics. Name one thing you are looking forward to experiencing at Stanford. 50 words. As much as I'll be learning inside the classroom, I'm excited for the unique opportunity to engage in linguistic fieldwork around the world. One project I'm interested in is Voices of California, because I'm curious about how regional differences in slang develop. Do people in SoCal really say gnarly? Imagine you had an extra hour in the day. How would you spend that time? 50 words. Some months ago, I bought a copy of Comparative Grammar of Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and French. It's been sitting on my bookshelf ever since I bought it. I'd love to finally finish this book and devote time to learning new languages other than the 5 minutes on Duolingo before bed. The Stanford community is deeply curious and driven to learn in and out of the classroom. Reflect on an idea or experience that makes you genuinely excited about learning. 250 words. The first time I spoke Spanish outside of a classroom was at the pizzeria I worked at. On a hot summer afternoon just after I clocked in, a young Latino man came in. Squinting at the menu in confusion, he came to the counter and asked in a heavy accent if I spoke Spanish. This is the moment, I thought, to finally put my Spanish to use. With 5 years of study under my belt, I replied confidently, Sí, señor. ¿Cómo puedo ayudarle? After successfully taking his order, 2 large pepperoni pizzas, my boss gave me a high five. I was sweating a little and my heart beat with excitement. I had done it. Although my Spanish wasn't perfect, I was able to reach him. There was a special moment we shared when his face lit up after I greeted him in his native tongue. We'd formed a bond through a common language. It is those moments I strive for. I love learning languages. If I can't reach someone in English, maybe Spanish will work, or Tagalog, or Korean. One day I'll be able to reach more people in more languages, but first I need to study and practice. Language is what makes us human. It's our vehicle for storytelling. When I greet the old couple down the street with hola, my grandfather with kamusta ka, or my host mom with annyeonghaseyo, when our voices can reach each other, that is when we feel the most human, even if we're just ordering pizza. Virtually all of Stanford's undergraduates live on campus. Write a note to your future roommate that reveals something about you or that will help your roommate and us get to know you better. 250 words. Dear roommate, the only roommates I've had before are my 2 younger brothers, so I'm really excited to meet you. Here's to the start of our great adventure. One thing though, I love vlogging. I started a YouTube channel to document my time in Korea and I've been hooked since. So if you're cool with it, I'd love to chronicle our journey at Stanford together. With our dashing good looks and great chemistry, we may very well become internet famous. The next RP Park, perhaps. Let's explore Stanford together. As a native Bostonian, I'll be in full tourist mode, at least for the first few months. So let's make tons of new friends to come along. Whether it's a new boba shop, frisbee in the park, or quiz bowl club, there will be plenty of exciting things to see and do. I hope we become close friends as we spend our days together. We can play Minecraft or pick up basketball. We can cry together over Ghibli movies or late night study sessions. We can jam out to K-pop or kick back to some R&B. I'll bring in Alexa. As you can see, my interests vary a lot, so I'm excited to see what you're into too. I'd love to hear your story. And if you ever need anything, or just someone to talk to, I'm your guy. College can be daunting, but let's brave these waters together. With lots of love, your future roomie. Tell us about something that is meaningful to you and why. 250 words. It's a Friday night, around 1 a.m. Usually my parents would have made everyone go to bed by now, but tonight they're actually sitting next to us. My brothers are on a 9-game losing streak. Try as they may, my Pikachu is unbeatable. Just a few moves later, their Roy and Link are sent flying off screen. That one doesn't count. One more. And so begins another round. Super Smash Bros. Is the only game everyone in my family plays. The occasional nights when we all get together to play are always filled with laughter. In the midst of everyone's busy schedules, it's one of the few things we can still bond over. There's a level of universality in Smash that few other games can replicate. There's little text to read through, and the controls are easy enough to pick up that someone could get by with pressing random buttons. Even my 80-year-old grandmother has been able to play a few matches with us. It's moments like these when I think to myself, I'm really going to miss this. I cherish these rare opportunities to forget about everything and simply have fun as a family. Soon I'll be heading off to college, so we won't be able to play together as much. Nonetheless, I know that whenever I come home, we'll all gather around the TV on a Friday night and play together until the sun comes up. But for now, my brothers are going to lose their 10th game in a row. That's about it for my Stanford essays. Hopefully you guys enjoyed me reading them, and I really hope that you guys are able to take something away from this and apply it to your own writing, but just please do not plagiarize anything that I wrote. I mean, it's probably unlikely that you would be able to, but still write your own essays, but just use this as some sort of like reference or guide to just help you give ideas or maybe try to think of ways that you want to like structure your essay or something. But with that said, for all of you guys who are applying to colleges right now, and especially to you guys who are working on your Stanford applications, I wish you the best of luck. If you're still looking for specific advice on how to write each type of supplemental essay, check out this video here, or feel free to take a look at any of the other videos that I have on my channel.